You are about to enter the Red and Rev Sports Show experience. Get ready for some real sports talk from some real sports fans who were real sports athletes who have sports knowledge.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Red and Rail Sports Show. I am the coach. We are here. I'm live here in gloomy Atlanta. It's like it's going to rain. Well, you know what today is. It's college football day today. We got 4 championship games, and then tomorrow, going to be a little crying. Going to be a little happiness, maybe a little everything, because everybody going to learn their fate for the playoffs. We got some big pro football games, and then we got some 5 for 5, and then we got some other topics. We welcome you to join us. Bring your comments, bring your friends, bring your family. We are live in the ATL. I'm live in the ATL, and Rev is live in Coatesville, PA. Come on and join us.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Coach, as he already stated, is coming to you live from the ATL Show. While Rev is coming to you live from PA, the eastern side of Pennsylvania, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, we come to give you real sports talk. Because we are real sports fans, real sports athletes who have what, Coach? Real sports knowledge. So hang out with your boys, the good Reverend, and your quality coach for episode 401 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. And as is our sports custom, let's turn our numbers attention to Coach Patrick Thomas to give us something or someone dealing with those three digits, the 4, the 0, and the 1. What you got for us, Coach?
Well, Rev is going to be very brief. I'm going an obscure fact, but it's fact. It happened. I don't know if you remember the young man named Mike Miller, who used to play for the Miami Heat, little sharpshooting guard. In his first season, 2010-2011 with the Miami Heat, he scored exactly 401 points. So that's our 401 for today. Mike Miller, who is not in the NBA anymore, but had a brief cup of water or cup of tea with the Miami Heat. He scored 401 points in his first season with the Heat. That's all, folks.
Now, before I come to how you discovered this 401, I can't let you minimize Mike Miller's career now. Come on. Mike Miller wasn't like some dude just hanging off the end of the bench.
No.
He was a contributor to the Miami Heat championships teams. Come on now, Coach.
Yeah, but it's rare we get a Mike Miller sighting on the Red and Real Sports Show. But hey,
now that's for sure. That's rare. Now, how in the world did you come up with 401 points? You have never really done that for anybody's career, so you must have been struggling trying to find something with 401, and you must have Googled, Chat GPT. What relates to 401? Help us understand how you came to this conclusion.
Well, with my vast sports knowledge, I went back in time. You know, I've been around for a while, as y'all like to tell me. I'm seasoned. And yeah, I Googled. I did. Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way. Then I know you had to come up with that, because I'm up here talking about Mike Miller with 401 points. I said, Dad, Coach, it must have been a struggle trying to find something that goes with 401. So now we got the real deal and we understand. All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 401 of the Red and Rev Sports Show. Red is not with us today. It is that time of year where it's all about the dollar bill for Red. So we want him to do what he got to do to make that money. Also, we pray for his safe travels to and fro as he works on today. With that being said, someone said the show must go on. And as we continue on with the show, we want to welcome Revenite Nation, who is the best nation associated with the Red and Rev Sports Show. So, so we want to always show them some love. The VP has checked in. He said he's briefly in the building, ready to slam down the gavel to begin a hellfire and brimstone session.
Oh, my goodness.
Of the Red and Red Sports Show. Revenite Nation, rise up and don't look back. IYKYK. Okay, yeah, something like that. All right. Appreciate you, Mr. VP. Hello to you over there in YouTube. I hate how YouTube has gone to act for the usernames rather than give us the people's actual names. So hello to you. Good morning to you, as Vincent Woodruff, Vice President, will call you Mama Wildcat Harris. VP is leaving Charleston to head home shortly, later to the Holy City. Until next time, peace. We pray for your travel.
The Holy City.
Mercy. There's Joe Black representing in Jacksonville. What's up, brother? Glad to have you on today. And I like those pictures of your son in his uniform. Looks pretty good. I appreciate you posting. He said Mike Miller was shocked by this revelation. For For sure. Sister Sylvia Wildcat Harris said, coaches to be commended. And
Come on, Harris.
talk about Joe Black being in YouTube purgatory. But nevertheless, Coach, before we get started, I can't use this as my dope moment, but congratulations, man, on winning another fantasy. You won a fantasy game last week. They had been far and few in between this season, but you came up victorious. I was glad to see that you at least made somebody have to squirm a little bit to see if they're gonna get into the playoffs or not. So you're playing the role of spoiler right now.
Man, that's all I can play is spoiler, surprise. I'm glad you told me because I thought I had lost. Thank you for telling me because I pretty much gave up on fantasy football on all levels this week. This year. I ain't gonna say week, this year, because it's been a rough time. My team got more injuries than Deshaun Watson's masseuse partner. So hey, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you actually beat the number 4 seed.
Oh wow.
Yep, you beat the number 4 seed, moving him down to 8-5, and you improved to 3-10, Coach.
3-10. Yes, I feel like a good member, a big member of the New York Giants. I feel like Jameis Winston now. That's all I got.
Winston Thorne is chiming in. What's going on, fellas? In chat, smash that like button, y'all. Share. We appreciate you, man, every week sharing us, and we appreciate the energy in which you share with us. Let's jump right into this show, Coach. We got quite a bit of stuff to talk about on today. We're going to go into our dope, nope, and cope moments for this week. What are you doping on, Coach?
I'm doping on the Kennesaw State University, who went from 2-10 to 10-3 this year in a Conference USA Championship. I watched the game last night, and I was proud of those guys. They made a good comeback on Jacksonville State, and they ended up with the victory. And, hey, they got something to hang their hat on. Congratulations to Kennesaw State University for winning the Conference USA title.
That's dope. I can't find my dope stuff. Hold on right quick, Coach. I got to do you right because you gave Kennesaw State some major love.
Yeah, I'm looking for my – yeah, baby.
You want that one? Okay, now I think we got – all right, here we go. I can't find yeah, baby, but we'll do this.
That's all right.
That's one.
That is.
That's the one you want. All right. We're back in business. I got a dope on one LeBron James who chose making the right play over continuing a streak. Mm-hmm. LeBron James has scored 10 points or more in 1,297 games, dating back to January 6, 2007. And that streak finally came to an end on December 4th, 2025. He had 8 points, and he had the ball with the last possession, and he chose to make the right basketball play and hit Rui in the corner for a game-winning 3-point shot over the Toronto Raptors. So big ups to LeBron choosing team over his own continuing streak, even though he had quite a few shots that he took.
Yeah.
To try to get that double digit, but at the end of the game, he chose team over self. So big ups to LeBron for the streak that came to an end, but for choosing team over his own record.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely excellent.
Good call.
It's back on me, and Coach, I gotta get your fan base.
Yeah.
I got a nope on the Pittsburgh Steelers fan base. All of a sudden now, y'all want to cry for somebody's job. And it just so happens that you want to now cry about somebody's job security when the head coach happens to be a black man. Bill Cowher basically has had the same career as Mike Tomlin. They both won only one Super Bowl. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing record. Bill Cowher cannot say the same. So I need you Steelers fans to be consistent. I think personally it is time for Mike Tomlin to go somewhere else and get a new crew that he can lend his voice to. But it's a shame that Pittsburgh all of a sudden, after you all have had all these years of only 3 head coaches, now you want to blow the trumpet and sound the alarm talking about you want to fire a coach. But that energy was never exhibited when Bill Cowher was your head coach. Matter of fact, in the infamous words of our VP on this show, sounds about white. Coach, sorry I had to do your fan base like that, but
no, sir. You right on point. You are dead on, without a doubt. I get tired of hearing it and seeing it, and they act like Bill Cowher carried the dynasty on, and he won 1 Super Bowl in 16 years. Stop.
Exactly. All right, Coach, what are you noping on?
I'm noping on the University of Kentucky. Mama Harris, I'm sorry, but that performance last night against Gonzaga, that was very, very uninspiring. I don't know what was on their mind last night playing against Gonzaga. You would think that they would rise up. It's a neutral site game, but you think they would rise up and give a good showing being a ranked team, but that was not a good performance. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna get better, but right now they're 5-4. And can you believe, Rev, that just like you said with Mike Tyson, some people are already calling for Mark Pope's job already, and they ain't played but 9 games. Come on, 9 games? Are you ready for the man to be fired already? Come on, it's just a game. It just started. But that was a bad loss last night. And it's not indicative of the season. It was just a bad loss. They ran into a team that couldn't make the shot, so they'll get over it. They'll be back, and they'll be in that tournament this year.
I think the worst job now in sports is to be a college head coach. With this transfer portal, you really can't build culture. And if you are a culture builder, college basketball, college football is not the area to be coaching.
Nope.
Because no longer do we see these kids mature and grow. It's all about the highest bidder. I was just looking last week, going back to football, and there were a couple of HBCU quarterbacks and a few skill players that had remarkable seasons. What do? Go right into the transfer portal, trying to get some money, trying to get to a bigger program. And that's really what Kentucky Mark Pope is trying to do. All these coaches trying to go to the transfer portal, getting immediate success. And you got to build culture, man. And unless you just have studs that you just throw the ball out and say play and just need limited coaching, this college sports is just not where it is, especially in basketball. At least football, you still got half of your squad or a little bit more than half of your squad that stays. But literally in basketball, the whole team might turn over in 1 year. So it's interesting. All right, Coach, what are you coping with?
I'm still coping with Shedeur Sanders. And it's not a bad cope, but it is kind of sort of, because Shedeur, I'm hoping that your dad or whoever, your agent or somebody, is able to come up and say, hey, I'm getting him out of here, Cleveland, because I don't think he'll be able, I can't cope with him being in Cleveland much longer and having to deal with the negativity from the coaching staff. Now, the players like him, but he's not going to get a fair shake because Donovan I mean, not dominant. Deshaun Watson is back, so if he could play this year, Shador be on the bench again. So, I don't know what to say for Shador, but I'm hoping that he's able to get out of there because I don't think he'll be able to cope with what's going on in Cleveland another year.
Yeah, Stefanski is just letting it be known.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any part of Shador Sanders. And if I can get any quarterback other than Shador behind center, I will do it. As Malcolm X once said, by any means necessary. Deshaun Watson hadn't done anything since he's been in Cleveland. And now Stefanski's looking at him like he's going to save the day. And it's not save the day for the Cleveland Browns to be competitive. It's save the day so I don't have to stomach trying to put Shador Sanders out there while I don't care for him at all and didn't want him on this team from the very beginning.
Yes, sir. That's it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I got to go back to the ATL. Atlanta Falcons fans who are still die hard. I'm coping with the fact that you all keep setting yourself up for unnecessary stress. You set yourself up for unnecessary heartache. I give kudos to these guys like Uncle Steve's Lounge, Big Low Country, who are faithful in their podcast. And they get excited when the Falcons have a decent showing. But as they might beat the Bills, they'll come back and lose to a lowly Jets team like they did last week.
Oh, my God.
They're winning, and they wind up losing to one of the worst teams in the NFL. And I'm just going to cope with the fact that you all have to understand that until ownership changes, it is what it is, and it's not going to get much better for your Atlanta Falcons. You will have, well, the Atlanta Falcons are the epitome, rather, of it being a roller coaster. You're going to have some ups, but a lot of downs. Mm-hmm. Live with that fact and be like Mike. My name is Michael. And learn how to become an emotionless Falcons fans so that you won't kill yourself over a team that does not show consistent love to you each week. Do yourself a favor, become an emotionless Falcons fan. All right. With that being said, let's turn our attention to Revenite Nation. I'm sure they have the chat fired up right about now. Let's see what we're doing here. The VP, before he left Big Dope to the Lexington Christian Football Academy in Lexington, Kentucky, they won their second 2A District 4 championship, their first since 2009. A friend of mine has a son that plays on that team. Shout out to Deron Riddick and his teammates for getting the job done against Owensboro Catholic, 33-28. There's a high school sports sighting. Sister Sylvia, Mama Wildcat Harris says the Coatesville Raiders high school basketball team began the season last night with a win over Kobe Bryant's alma mater, Lower Marion. Really? And see that Sports Rev gave great coverage of the game and the stats. Thanks so much. Yep. Wow. Yep. Coatesville played Lower Marion, Kobe Bryant's alma mater, last night at Westchester University and won 76-62. Joe Black is doping on UGA basketball, beating FSU badly. All right. Hopefully UGA can sustain the decent season that they're starting out with. We need some sustainability. The VP is noping on a messy ninja named Trayvon Boykin's lame attempt to black shame Russell Wilson after R-Dub invited him to Thanksgiving dinner one year while they played in Cincinnati. This YN is yet another example of a so-called brother trying to tear down another. Crab in a barrel mentality. I'm glad
Mm.
Russell's mom came with the clapback. Do better, my people. Hello to you. Hello to you. Thanks for tuning in. Mom is noping on the Trump effect has raised his ugly head in the Steelers city.
Yeah.
The VP says, sounds about white. I wish nothing but ill will towards the Steeler faithful, exhibiting great value like fandom. Nah, not the Walmart, great value. You won't be name brand for a while. Fire Mike Tomlin. He will have another head coaching gig in no time. Aaron Rodgers, you aren't helping the situation. You injured face sucker.
God, no. Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know who this is. Somebody trying to hack us.
I skip all those.
We're going to do something better than that. There we go. All right. The VP is double-doping on Jalen Johnson on the triple-double. 21 points, 18 boards, 16 assists, and a loss to the Nuggies. Sorry, Hawks. VP says slight correction, Reverend Doctor. One of the most financially beneficial gigs in all sports is a head coach. They coach football, college football, get fired in 5 years. You're set financially for life. Unfortunate that we're here, though. Yeah, the money-wise, yeah, but in terms of doing what you want to do, which is build culture, you can't do it. The money is great. I was telling somebody the other day, I missed my calling. I should have been a head coach. I wouldn't have mind got fired after year 1, year 2, and just make it doing nothing. I get it. Joe Black's noping on Legend Bay.
Oh, Lord.
An older brother signed a letter of intent for Tennessee when he wanted to go to Ohio State. Wow.
That's a train wreck right there. That is a certified train wreck.
And he couldn't go to Ohio State on his own?
That's what I'm wondering. What happened on that end?
Like at some point, man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta grow up.
Yeah. Now that lets me know that Legend Bay's mother and brother must be getting some money on the side.
Look what his first name is. That ought to say enough.
All right. The VP is double noping on UGA on trying to suing Damian Wilson, depending on how the judge rules on this issue, could set a precedent in college football. Stay tuned. You know anything about that, Coach?
Well, he left and transferred, and they talking about he owes them $390,000 or something like that. I'm like, UGA, y'all got money, don't you? Why y'all trying to go after this brother? Y'all got money. Y'all look bad trying to chase somebody down for some money because they left your school. Like, it's whatever.
Well, Coach, hold on now. There's a contract in place. Now, see, this is where it starts getting messy when we start doing this.
Yep, that's what Neil.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if he breached the contract, then he breached the contract. Like back in the day, this would have been illegal. You know, some of these guys got bags before Neil was legal. When they transferred, of course, the schools couldn't report it because they would have been on probation. Yeah. But now that this is legal, if he did not live up to the contract, is UGA wrong? Because here it is. We know that a good majority of the big-time football programs are paying people money. And now, if you allow persons to breach their contracts, it starts setting the precedent. So I think you got to, make an example. If he did breach his contract, and I got to read more about it, but yeah, they got more money. But Coach, guess what? You listening? You froze. Oh,
yes, sir.
That $390,000 could have gone to another player.
That's true.
Yeah, that's why I can't just brush that off. Joe Black says, nope, there's no way a 7-5 Duke should be in an ACC title game. Signs of the times of the ACC.
Yeah.
And it shows how bad the
ACC
is. That's what it does. And if Duke wins, all chaos is going to break loose with the college playoff. The worst thing for the college playoff is for Duke, BYU, teams like that to win.
Yeah,
it's going to be all chaos. All chaos. Winston Thorne says doping on James Pierce is leading rookies in sacks and pressure rate. And I guess, Terry Fontenot should get a pass for trading that first-round pick because James Pierce has definitely operated like a first-round pick in this year's draft. So the Falcons need that pick now.
Yeah.
It's going to be a top 10, but, hey, they weren't when they made the trade to get back in and get James Pierce in the latter part of first round. They weren't expecting to be this bad. Joe Black, coping the college football calendar. There's no way the coaching cycle should happen in the middle of the playoffs. Agreed. Yeah. It's a broken system. But they have not changed the rules since they added the playoff. And that's where it becomes a problem. If you're going to add the playoff, then change when signing day is going to be. Change when the transfer portal is going to be. That just makes sense. College football has always been, or the NCAA has always been reactive rather than proactive. They need to sit in a Chick-fil-A meeting. Chick-fil-A is always proactive. Right? Before something becomes a problem, they begin looking at things that could become problematic, and they seek solutions before they become a problem. The NCAA would do well to learn from Chick-fil-A. You heard it from the Sports Rev first. All right. Joe Black said, Rev, I can't even put my emotions with the fact. Especially reports have said Terry and DeJono will be back. Is that a special name for? Is that for Raheem? I don't know who DeJono is.
I guess so.
Now I'm gonna give a pass to Terry right now because his hands are tied. If he doesn't have as much power over the roster and the coaching staff, it's hard to blame him. Because if you fire Terry and don't have an organizational shift empowering the GM, you're going to be right back to where you are now, and you're going to be saying fire the next GM. So unless they change things, let Terry stay. Hopefully one day they let Terry really get the keys to the engine, and let's see what he can do as the person in power. But as long as Arthur Blank has at the right hand Rich McKay, this is the issue that you're going to have. Yeah. So we can say fire the GM, fire the head coach. They're still going to mess around as long as Rich McKay is around. They're going to get an inferior head coach because we've not had a dynamic head coach since probably Dan Reeves, a proven coach since Dan Reeves. So you're going to get these B-list coaches, and you're going to be in the same situation that you're in. So until they change something at the top, it's kind of fruitless to talk about fire this person, fire that person, even though Raheem Morris needs to be fired. That joker, man. It's terrible. Winston is noping on Giannis thinking he's going to break Bron's all-time scoring record in 5 years.
What?
That's him being delusional. As much as he gets hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
And he didn't have the start that LeBron had. LeBron was averaging basically 20 his whole career. And it took Giannis about 4 years to fill into his body. So, bro, and as much as you hurt,
yeah, Lord,
it ain't going to happen, bro. Winston Cope and Bron double-digit scoring streak coming to an end. KD is next with like 200 plus and would have to play till he's 49 to pass Bron's record. And we know that won't happen, and I don't think his hair will let it happen either. So
no.
VP said, remind us when the kid signed with Florida and his mother was a Bama fan.
Oh, Lord, that tragedy.
Yeah. Joe Black said, make sure you block the right person on YouTube this time. All right, I have to stomach that. I did do you wrong. I apologize, Joe. The VP says she walked out on the press conference while
Yeah,
owning her Bama gear. Yeah, that was terrible.
she got up look bad.
Oh, Joe said he's 17 and he couldn't sign a contract on his own.
Okay.
Well, guess what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
He's going to go to Tennessee, sit there for 1 year. As soon as he turned 18, he's hitting the transfer portal. That's the only thing that kept him
out the door.
Tennessee. I wouldn't even. If I were Tennessee, I wouldn't even want him. I wouldn't want him. The VP said I watched all the Smoke podcasts with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Their guest was the great Ralph Sampson. They asked Ralph about getting a bag. He said, "I don't get a bag. I got a trash bag." Meaning, bro, we got you, Joe. VP said, I'm getting on the road with proper decorum. I'm issuing the order to cue Lunits before the 5 for 5 segment. Have a great show, fellas. We've been cued. Thank you, sir. Be safe on that road. We were asked, yes, what do you think about Southern's hiring of Marshall Faulk? For Black College, I think it's an excellent hire. Gives him notoriety. He's from Louisiana. It could be a win-win. Now, his coaching, that's to be determined. But in terms of making a splash hire, getting a notable name, NFL Hall of Famer, sounds smart to me, especially with HBCUs who need resources. Coach, you got any opinion?
I mean, it can't hurt. After that year they had this year, that was pretty depressing this year what they did, even though they came and won the last game, but still that was not a Southern-like performance for the year. So, hey, clean house.
Yeah. So they definitely going to get some recruits who want to work with Marshall Faulk. Who doesn't want to listen to NFL Hall of Fame?
Yes, sir.
They should at least have some of the top backs, right?
Now, if nothing else, they should be running all over.
For sure. Good morning, Maurice Thor, the Prime Minister. Appreciate you tuning in. VP said Jerry Glanville just in the chat. Maurice coming in doping on Kennesaw State for winning their conference. Talk about doing a 180. Yeah, Coach lifted up. Oh, that's Raheem's first name, the Jono. Wow. Now I see why he goes by Raheem. The Prime Minister noping on Travian Boykin. Why try to crap on what goes on in Russell Wilson's house? That's crazy. Somebody else lifted that up too. Indeed, we want to lift up safe travels for the VP. Maurice throw a cope in me working while the championship games are going on. Yeah, that's tough. Now, the good thing is your emotions don't have to be tied too much because, unfortunately, your Hurricanes didn't make the ACC championship, so at least you ain't missing your Canes. But come on now, Mr. Prime Minister. How y'all going to have Duke and Virginia? And there's no Miami. There's no Clemson. Georgia Tech had a chance to be in, and they dropped the ball the week before.
Lord,
they played. So they were so busy trying to get ready for Georgia, they forgot to play. They forgot they had to play Pitt. Come on, man.
Oh, Lord.
All right, that ends our dope, nope, and coke moments. Thank you, Reverend Nation, for tuning in. Let's go right into it, Coach. It is that time of year, man. The championships are here. This football season's gone by fast, man. Goodness gracious. We already with the conference championships. There's some interesting games.
Ooh.
There's some brutal games for television fanfare, for sure. But then there are, some games where people are going to be excited. So let's jump into it, Coach. Reverend Nation, feel free to join in. And it's really going to be more so Coach on this. I'll give my little small opinion since I haven't been picking all year. I haven't really done my research like I normally do. All right, but let's go ahead and do this thing. Let's do some HBCU music. Yeah. Prime Minister said, Red, that's something which I'll never understand. ACC commissioner needs to be impeached.
Okay.
I got you, Mr. Prime Minister.
You know how you solve that, Ray?
What's that?
Win your games.
Yeah, that is true. All right, Coach, jump into this thing. Let's go to this ACC championship game.
Oh,
Duke versus Virginia. Nobody saw that championship coming into fruition at the beginning of the season. Who you got, Coach?
Yeah, this is the most least, well, I would say the most least interesting game of the year, but this one got a lot of nervous people around college football because if Duke wins, hey, BYU, hey, Miami, hey, Notre Dame, hey, Alabama if they lose, hey, Kennesaw State, hey, James Madison. A lot of folks going to be very interested to watch the show tomorrow. But if Virginia wins, well, like Porky Pig says all the time on Looney Tunes, that's all, folks. That'll be it. Virginia should win, but I'm not putting anything past Duke because Duke is one of those teams that'll sneak up on you. And hey, just like Gainesville did last night against Langston Hughes, they had nothing to lose, and they came out and beat Langston Hughes. So hey, Duke got nothing to lose. So I'm gonna say Virginia gonna win, but it's gonna be closer than people think.
Well, they played earlier this year at Duke, and from what I researched, Virginia ran all over Duke. I mean,
yes, sir.
They said they were up by at least 20 plus points the last time they played. Matter of fact, trying to get to that game where the final score was, where Duke lost to Virginia. Where's the score?
Duke got pounded by Virginia 34-17. Yep.
Yeah, and that was recent, Coach. Relatively recently. That was 15? Like a month ago.
Yep.
So unless Duke got some better players in less than a month, I see Virginia grounded and pounded once again for victory. And ain't nobody got time to see Duke in the college playoff. So give me Virginia. Give me Virginia.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one, Coach. BYU versus Texas Tech. I'll go first.
All right.
BYU is all excited because they were able to keep their coach, because he was on the list to go to Penn State.
Yep.
But he chose BYU over Penn State. This man chose Utah over Pennsylvania. What does that say about Pennsylvania right now? Come on. But nevertheless, this is a better matchup between two teams. Texas Tech number 4, BYU number 11. I will confess that I haven't seen much of either team this year. It seems like their quarterback play is about the same, even though Morton, the quarterback for Texas Tech, has more throwing TDs than Bachmeier. The rushing game seemed a little bit on par. Receivers seemed a little bit on par. So they seem pretty balanced. But I'm going to go with Texas Tech to win this game. Matter of fact, they beat BYU about a month ago, 29-7 at home. This game is on a neutral field, so things might be a little bit different in this game since there's no home field advantage. But I think Texas Tech has the better roster, and they're on pace to really do some big things in the college playoffs. So give me Texas Tech. Who you got, Coach?
Last time BYU played Texas Tech, Texas Tech was all over BYU. They were leading the whole game. They never let them have a chance. Final score like 29-7. And the quarterback for BYU, the controversial Bear Bachmeyer, is a decent quarterback. But Texas Tech got they paid good money for that defense. They don't need to try to hide it. They paid good money for that defense they got on that field. And that's funny in college football, but they did pay good money. And Jacob Rodriguez was talked about at one point as one of the defensive players for the Heisman. He is all over the field. Everywhere you go, he got over 100 tackles, and he got some interceptions. And he's going to be a key. That Texas Tech defense is going to be key today to snuffing out BYU. I'm still going to go with Texas Tech. I think they're going to go and round it out and tell BYU, see you in the Holiday Bowl. Now, BYU, I feel sorry for you now because if you lose, you're going to play in either the Holiday Bowl and the Alamo Bowl against a team that I like to see play, and that's Southern Cal. You had to run to Southern Cal.
Coach, we're not going to let you waste our time talking about a potential Holiday Bowl matchup.
I knew that.
Come on now, Coach. How far the mighty have fallen.
No,
Coach, you have been getting excited about the Holiday Bowl. USC was trying to make the playoffs, Coach. And here's the sad thing, Coach. Out of all these head coaching vacancies, guess what name was never mentioned in any of them?
Ding, 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 ding. I got Lincoln Riley for $500.
My goodness, man. His stardom has been silent.
Real?
It's been buried. They throw dirt over it. Man, who'd ever thought Lincoln Riley is would be a footnote?
To use my daily biblical reference, he revives himself more than Lazarus.
What he must have something on USC for them not to have gotten rid of him yet.
I don't know.
Because he should have been fired. If James Franklin got fired by now, Lincoln Riley should have been fired.
Yeah, but they ain't gonna get rid of him yet. Because he got the #1 recruiting class in the country. Woo! Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo.
And the question is, how many of them gonna stay for 4 years?
I think about six.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything anymore. Winston Thornton got Virginia over Duke. Joe Black said, I'm cheering for Duke so there can be chaos. But realistically, Virginia will win. Joe got BYU over Texas Tech. He's going with the upset today. Winston Thornton said, I'm with you, Joe. I got BYU in the upset as well. Yeah, I read about that, Joe. Rev, the owner of Crumble Cookies, promised him all you can eat cookies if he stays at BYU. But they said he was going to match any offer, too. And for his sake, I'm glad that he stayed because I just don't see him being a good fit in Pennsylvania. If Pennsylvania was more like Philadelphia across the board, maybe.
I got the wrong job. These guys come up with something like Crumble Cookies and become billionaires, and teachers don't get no money. No, Lord have mercy.
Man, you gotta have the right recipe at the right time.
Yeah.
The VP said I'm at a stoplight so I can comment. You just can't let it go, can you, VP? I love it. The BYU coach probably staying because he has systems. Oh man,
Lord,
taking a shot at the Mormons up there in Utah. Red Raiders will roll the Mormons big time. Maury Thor going with Duke over Virginia. Virginia must have beat Miami this year. He got Texas Tech over BYU.
Yeah.
All right, Coach, it's on you, man. The Big Ten championship. I see a team that's not there, Coach. The one that's going to be playing in the Holiday Bowl. We need to fix that next season, Coach.
Yes, sir.
But the two teams that are there, Indiana, ranked number 2 in the nation versus the #1 team in the nation, the Ohio State. Who you got, Coach?
I don't know about this. In the back of my mind, my thing is looking like I know it's prestigious to win the Big Ten title, but something tells me there may be a resting of players since both of them already in the playoffs. One team might decide, hey, we don't need to play all our guys. We in the playoffs. We're gonna be either the number one or number two seed in the playoffs anyway. So why go out and go hard and get somebody hurt? That's just a side thought, but maybe it's gonna be an entertaining game because it's always gonna be entertaining when Gus Johnson got the call in prime time. But I'm gonna go to Ohio State. You know, Signetti is the mouth that roared, but he been backing it up. I'm not gonna lie, he been backing it up. But I'm still gonna go to Ohio State if they play everybody to win. Oh, and this is the showcase of the two quarterbacks. Both of them are in contention for the Heisman, so they may go all out. I forgot about that. They may go all out for this game.
Yeah, Coach, I'm gonna debunk that possible theory they may not go all out. Reason being, you got to remember this game is really for a bye.
Yeah.
And if you're serious about resting players, trying to get healthy, that bye matters. So I think, this is important because whoever loses this game will not get a bye. That's just the bottom line. Unless Georgia loses, Texas Tech loses, then the loser of this game might wind up getting a bye as well. So who knows? But nevertheless, I'm going to roll the Ohio State. Got a little cousin playing there, getting some time from time to time. But Ohio State is probably the more dominant team. They probably definitely have the most dominant player on either side of the ball, and Smith, the wide receiver. And I thought that dude saying their quarterback was a little bit overrated, but he's impressive. And he's made some good throws during some crucial time. And I hope. Now, this is where Indiana can sneak in. Is if Ohio State stayed on their high from beating Michigan for the first time in like 5 years. They did too much partying and excitement over finally beating Michigan, then Indiana has a chance. But if the head coach Brian Day has been able to settle them down, get them focused, Ohio State should win this game.
Yep.
All right, on to the next, Georgia, Alabama. Of course, my heart says Georgia. For some reason, Coach Kirby Smart gets weak in the knees, start wetting the bed when it's time to play Alabama. We understood it with him when Nick Saban, his old boss, used to be the coach, but he's 0-2 to Kalen DeBoer. And I'm going to pick Georgia, but if Kirby can't beat Kalen DeBoer today, like, folks need to start calling Kirby out. I appreciate the great seasons he's had. But there ought to be a standard, just like Day is held to a standard to beat Michigan. At some point, Georgia fans, we got to start calling Kirby to the carpet because he's lost too many games to Alabama that he was supposed to win. And they won against Alabama in the championship a couple of years. It helped because Jamison Williams went down with an injury, and that helped their chances to win that championship. So, Kirby, it's time to step up. It's time to earn your paycheck as the highest paid college football coach in the nation. Losing to Kalen DeBoer for a third time should not be accepted. So, Kirby, all eyes on you. Get the job done and let UGA propel to becoming back-to-back SEC champion. Coach, who you got?
Well, you said that. I saw something on the show Get Up that shocked me. They said Kirby is the leading coach in the country for losing championship games. He has lost the most championship games of any coach in the country. And I'm like, wow, I did not know that stat. I know he's been in them, but I didn't know he lost more. He lost 5. So, but it's like they always say, this is really the case of the elephant in the room today. And like you said, you said it beautifully. If you don't beat Kalen DeBoer today, I use my favorite phrase. I have concerns because some way you ought to know how to beat them by now. You played them enough. You should be familiar with them. You should know how to beat them. And I don't want to hear that thing about, well, it's hard to beat somebody 2 times in a year. Yeah, no, it's not. Not really. So I'm gonna go with Alabama too because I don't think Georgia, the mental aspect of that thing is gonna help them, and I think Gunnar Stockton may struggle. Georgia, will you please use Zachariah Branchmore? You got one of the fastest guys in the country, and you spot playing. Man, you better put that guy down on in the slots or somewhere out there and let him go get some balls. I mean, you got to get a kid sometime to play. You got him, so don't spot play him. Get him out there.
Yeah, now one big concern for Georgia is Mike Bobo's son, the starting center, is out. And he's anchored the offensive line this year. So we'll see who they have replacing him. And you might get your wish, coach, because if they can't run the ball like they are able to at times because Bobo's injury, you might see them airing it out a little bit. And that makes me a little nervous because Gunnar has moments, but I don't look at him as that dude.
Yeah.
Joe Black has Indiana beating Ohio State. Come on, man. The Prime Minister got Indiana beating Ohio State.
Oh, wow. No, all these upsets.
This must be some Ohio State hate. Winston got Indiana beating Ohio State down. Reverend Knight Nation, y'all have chosen together before, and you all choosing together did seek to be better than what was said on the show. So I can't poo-poo on your decision with mostly Indy beating Ohio State, but I just don't see it happening. Winston Thorne got Bama. Joe Black said, I don't care if the boys wearing that black hoodie, Georgia wins big.
Joe Black, stop. Take your fandom out of it, please.
I'll take it, but I don't know about winning big. The Prime Minister said Georgia has one job, beat Alabama. They got to win on third down. Yeah, the defense got to step up on third down. All right, that ends our picks for this week. Thanks so much for chiming in, Reverend Knight Nation. So that leads us to what we officially call halftime on the Red and Rev Sports Show. We appreciate your presence. We want you to hang out with us for the second half of the Red and Rev Sports Show coming right up. We got some basketball, pro football coming up on the other side. We'll be right. And we are back on the Red and Rev Sports Show, coming to you to give you the second half of the show. And we appreciate all those who are tuning in. Matter of fact, I failed to say this earlier, but please like and share if you haven't already done so. Let somebody know that you're watching the Red and Rev Sports Show on Saturdays at 10:30 on Facebook as well as YouTube. Thank you so much for your like and your share. While we were at break, Timothy Sago Sr. said Mike Bobo sometimes has Zach Robinson tendencies, the OC for the Falcons, and I would probably have to agree with that. Luckily, they win a lot more than the Falcons, so those Zach Robinson tendencies are oftentimes overlooked. And sometimes I think they should be paid more attention to because Mike Bobo doesn't always call the best game. But hopefully we'll see him call one of his better games on today. All right, we've already been given the cue from our VP to cue the Lunats. So let's do it. Here we go. So we have followed the VP's orders.
Yes.
We got 5 hot topics during this particular segment. We have 5 minutes for each topic. Coach, you got 1 minute. Rev will join you today with 1 minute, 45 seconds. Single shot, 15 seconds. Group shot, after a minute, we're muted. So, matter of fact, since it's just the two of us, Coach, you got 90 seconds. All right?
Okay.
90 seconds. Here we go. Woo! CP3
Oh, God.
sent home. Coach, what said you about CP being sent home? Go.
Well, to use my word, I finally get to use it in a while. It's Pharrell. I was all for telling Lauren Frank, you need to be fired immediately and sent to the door. But now that I heard that CP3 did a little chirping with Ty Lue and the players, I've been here long enough. I know how to play this game. Y'all got to step it up and everything and start talking. And I ain't saying it was warranted, but I see where it happened. But Lauren Frank, I would not give you a pass on sending that man home in Atlanta when this could have been handled in Los Angeles. That was a Bush League move, killing him in a out of state. You no longer with us. You could have done that in Los Angeles. You could have waited. It wasn't gonna hurt anything. But overall, it was Bush League. But CP3, the end is near, buddy. But see, he gonna get a pass, and somebody gonna pick him up.
Coach, I want to join you with Pharrell. I even want to say foul. But after what I've been hearing, it's fair. The reality is Chris Paul is not the same player on the roster that he was back when the Clippers were Lob City. He was a phenomenal player.
Yes.
The reality is, when we look at Chris Paul's career the last 4 or 5 years, he's been a journeyman. That's the reality. So when you are no longer looked at with the allure you once had, you got to humble yourself. Mm-hmm. As The Rock used to say, you got to know your role. Yeah, you might be wearing the same colors that you once flourished in, but you're no longer that player. The stuff that they may have taken back when he was Lob City Chris Paul, they're not taking it now when you're journeyman Chris Paul. It'd be one thing if he spent his entire career with the Los Angeles Clippers. But this man recently played for San Antonio, Oklahoma City, Houston, Phoenix. I mean, he's been a journeyman. So Chris Paul, I know you are an acquired taste and people used to tolerate that when you were a higher echelon player. But unfortunately, that's not your basketball testimony right now. So you got to know your role.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, Coach. You got something you want to say about that?
No, I was going to say you exactly right. And no, I'm gonna say this, and I know you're gonna laugh, but notice you don't get this kind of activity and chirping from my boy, who the end is near for as well. One, Mr. Russell Westbrook.
Well, to Russ's credit, he's never really been a vocal leader.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So he doesn't really say too much to rub people the wrong way. Sometimes his play may rub people the wrong way, but his voice doesn't. So that helps Russ at this juncture in his career, that he's not really adding fuel to the fire, especially when things are going bad. All right, let's go to the next topic. The trade rumors have begun, with Giannis being traded away from Milwaukee. Now, I've seen quite a few scenarios. I even saw a scenario with the Hawks trading away Trae Young and some other players. Saw a scenario with Austin Reeves and Rui and a few draft picks being traded away in LA. The reality is, trading Giannis is not an easy thing to do. One, because of his contract. Two, now he's pretty injured these days. I know it right now. He's on my fantasy basketball team.
Yeah.
The third thing is, Giannis is not the kind of player that is just plug and play. If you have a great point guard, I don't know if Giannis is the right kind of player, because he controls the ball quite a bit in Milwaukee. Also, if you need a shooter at the 4 position, 5 position, Giannis is not that guy. So he needs to be at a place where his skills are missing, where he can dominate the ball, where he can control the inside. Because if you already have that kind of player, or if you already have a ball handling guard, it's going to be problematic for Giannis just to fit in. He's no LeBron James, where you can just plug and play. Coach, what you got?
Everybody keeps saying Giannis to the Knicks. Giannis to the Knicks. That sounds good. Sounds good on paper. But you got to give up a lot to get the Giannis to the Knicks now. You're not just going to get him and going to have to give up a bench player. No, you got to give up some important ball players to get him to the Knicks. So I don't know where Giannis will end up. He may just stay, act like he just, I'll stay. But right now he has no leverage because he's out for about a month with these calf injuries. So you might want to be quiet and just get healed first. Because I'm always scared of the calf injury, because the calf leads to the Achilles. So nobody gonna take damaged goods. You know, he averaging double-double and then almost a triple-double, but still kind of lessens his value in some spots. Like you said, certain teams he can't go with, so he can't fit with everybody. You muted yourself.
Joe Black said give up Trae Young and Ricochet.
Ricochet.
They're going to add some picks to that, Joe.
Yeah, that ain't going to be enough.
Now, the question is, Joe, can Jalen Johnson play alongside Giannis? Would Giannis play the 5 or would he play the 4? If he plays the 4, that moves Jalen Johnson to the 3. You want that. Is Jalen Johnson a good enough shooter to play the 3? Those are some questions you got to ask, because you can't rely on Giannis to be a consistent shooter.
Because he's not. Nope.
Joe said doesn't mean you have to take his brothers. There's a possibility. They might need to be thrown in there too.
Because they ain't going to last.
Timothy Sago said, I have to disagree with you on that. Just like when I was a child, when I act up in the store my mom was going to deal with whoop my behind in front of everyone. She wasn't going to wait till we got home. I think CP was handled right. Today's mamas wait till they get home to handle the problem. No, deal with it now.
Well,
You got to,
Tim, I just say, you know, you telling a man on the road, I know you want to deal with it, but what difference is it gonna make to just leave him in Atlanta or just dump him in Atlanta instead of doing it at home? Now I think he deserves a little more respect than that. He's not my favorite player, but I think it's a respect thing with me. You just do it out of respect. You know, he may be a mouth and everything, but it's a respect thing. You don't just tell him something in Atlanta instead of in Los Angeles, just dump him right there. More of a respect thing.
okay. Coach, it's on you now. The question is head coach of the Chicago Bears Ben Johnson for real? What'd you say, Coach?
First place in the NFC East or North. North. I'm sorry, NFC North. Caleb Williams is playing better. The team is playing better. You know, looks good to me. I think he is. Just don't take your shirt off anymore.
The proof is in the pudding. He's for real. He was for real as an offensive coordinator. The Detroit Lions have had unprecedented success when he was the OC. They were one of the toughest teams in the National Football League. Barring injuries, they had a good chance of going to the Super Bowl last year and the year before last. If the head coach had not gambled as much, they probably would have been in the Super Bowl the other year when San Fran made it. So Ben Johnson, as Coach alluded to, has been a blessing to Caleb Williams. Caleb has experienced success that he did not experience his rookie season. The Chicago Bears are experiencing success that they haven't seen in years.
Oh, yeah. Put S on it. Put S on it.
If you look at it, the Lions are not experiencing the same success without Johnson that they were experiencing with him. So the proof is in the pudding. Ben Johnson is more than for real. All right. Nobody commented. Let's go to the next question. And it's appropriate that I start. Has Mahomes' magic ended? I need to tell Red, is this really a question? I mean, come on now. The Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl the past 5 years. They won 3 out of 5. Can we give them a year to be on a downfall? Matter of fact, the thing that trips me out is 75% of the NFL wanted them to be bad this year. And now all of a sudden, they want to say, is it over? No, it's not over. They're just taking a vacation this year. They still have a slight chance of getting into the playoffs. But here's the reality, as I said, I think last week. It's time for Travis Kelce to retire. The way the NFL is played now, the tight end must be dynamic. The Kansas City Chiefs roster is constructed offensively based on a dynamic tight end. Travis Kelce used to be that dynamic tight end. He no longer has that distinction. He no longer can get separation. So this is why outside of Rashee Rice, the other wide receivers are struggling because you can man up with a safety against Travis Kelce and everybody else can play one-on-one. Those other receivers struggle getting separation. So once Travis Kelce gives up the football ghost and says, I'm ready to ride out with Taylor Swift, I retire, the Mahomes magic will regain because they'll get a dynamic tight end who'll be able to stretch the defense out. Coach, what says you, man?
Until Patrick Mahomes is not under center, I don't put anything beyond the Chiefs to win. They're going to keep winning. as long as he gets under center, because he can still have magic to work with. So I'm not gonna doubt him until they say he's not playing. Then when he's not playing, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's a chance. You know, not taking any chance on him. Mahomes is the quarterback that everybody wants to be.
And let's not act like the Kansas City Chiefs is getting boat race. Like they're losing one-score games that they won last year. They're just not winning this year. So they have played everybody who is supposed to be a contender tight this year. Nobody's boat raced.
Nope.
That was even when Rashee Rice was suspended for 7 games. So let's keep that in the equation as well. Joe Black, going back to the Chicago thing, did anyone see Chicago being a playoff team? I can't say I saw them being a playoff team. I did see them becoming better, but I didn't see them being a playoff team because I thought Green Bay and the Lions, the Lions would get those spots for the NFC North. Joe said also, it's a shame that Mahomes' down year is 4 games better. Speak on it, sir.
Uh-oh.
Speak on it, sir. Facts. Joe Black said, watch Kelsey retires and Kyle Pitts goes there and becomes an all-pro. I'll buy that. I'll sign up for that. Let's do it. We need a Kyle Pitts.
Wow.
Oh, that would be the Falcons' worst nightmare, too. That's the thing with winning those close one-score games last year. The law of probability says you won't be able to continue that pace into the future. That's fair, Winston.
Winston
fair.
going
One Penham go one way or the other. What'd you say, Coach?
Winston going with the law of probability. Great
the
job,
law of
sir.
probability. I see it, man. All right, last one. The Eagles OC. Brother Kevin. Brother Pachulo's egg, home was egg. And I'm sure some Philadelphia Eagles fans did that. So I'll start. Coach, no, you start this one. What you got to say about his home being egged? And this is coming off the Eagles on a 2-game losing streak, having lost to the Cowboys and Chicago Bears in consecutive weeks. What says you, Coach?
Well, the Eagles fans are notorious for whatever. Nothing has passed them, but remember what they did with Santa Claus? That's infamous in his time. But things like that, that's why fan is short for fanatic. And when you're doing stuff like that, and the thing about it is, if that man had been at home or around and he may have been in a bad mood, that could have turned uglier than it was. And those eggs would have been replaced with something else. So, not a wise move. You got to, come on, it's just football. It's not life or death. I know it's life or death to some people, but it's really not. You can get yourself seriously hurt. Then you're going to go to jail for doing something like that, possibly going to jail. Then you really won't get to watch the Eagles games. Crazy.
Well, Coach, this type of behavior is no surprise. You alluded to the fact that they threw snowballs at Santa Claus on the football. So they have a precedent of being harmful when they are upset. And this fan base is a very passionate fan base. They're an intelligent fan base, but they could also be a hostile fan base. And if you're not producing, especially since they have expectations of being in the Super Bowl again because of them winning last year, this comes with territory. But I think Eagles fans have misplaced anger. Their anger should be with their head coach and not their offensive coordinator. Reason being, he should have chosen a better offensive coordinator. There's a thing called self-awareness. Nick Sirianni is only as good offensively as his offensive coordinator. Shane Steichen was his offensive coordinator back in the day when he took that team to the Super Bowl the first time. You had Kalen Moore being the offensive coordinator last year. Both of those guys got head coaching jobs after the Eagles went to the Super Bowl. We have seen that when Nick Sirianni is the brightest offensive mind in the room in Philadelphia, it doesn't go too well. So Nick Sirianni needs to be self-aware and know that I need an outstanding offensive coordinator in order to maximize Jalen Hurts and this dynamic Philadelphia Eagles offense. If Nick Sirianni is the smartest person in the offensive room in Philadelphia, it's not going to look good. And that's what we're saying right now.
Yes, sir.
That's what we're seeing right now.
Yep.
All right. Joe Black said, I'm not even joking about Pitts going there. I know it. There's a possibility. He got and guess what? Kansas City should have the money by the time it could become a possibility because hopefully Kelsey will be off the books after this year.
No, they can borrow it.
Winston said police can narrow their suspect list to the rich and wealthy because the price of eggs. Yeah. You just don't want to be all, as Cedric the Entertainer say, you don't want to be all willy-nilly with eggs these days.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that's why Easter egg hunts, many of them went to plastic eggs this past year. Because those eggs are expensive.
Yeah, we're not giving away eggs. No, sir. We're not giving away eggs. We cooking.
So, Coach, let's have some conversation about the NFL real quick.
All right.
I need to get your commentary about your Steelers, the team, and then also the backlash that is coming against Mike Tomlin. I mentioned it in my note moment. You commented a little bit about it. But expound what you are feeling as a diehard Steelers fan right about now when it comes to Steeler Nation.
You know, just like you said, some of these people are actually a little goofy when they talk about the Steelers. And my thing is this, and they'll tell you if you are not on Facebook protesting or complaining or whining, you're not a real Steelers fan. They say you like kissing up to Tomlin. But my thing is this. I've been a Steelers fan for a long time. I supported Noel, I supported Cowell, and I'm supporting Tomlin. I support whoever the Steelers coach is. If he leaves next year and goes somewhere, I'm still going to be a Steelers fan. But sometimes these folks get beside themselves and they always talk about, oh, Mike Tomlin fans, all they talk about is his winning seasons. The people that don't like him talk about it more than the people that do like him. That's all they talk about. He hadn't done anything but had winning season. Isn't that something? I mean, it sounds like something to me. It sounds like an accomplishment to never have a losing season. Then some guy say, yeah, he's the perfect guy to be 9-8 every year. But he's only been 9-8 4 years out of the 18 or so he's been there. So, you know, you talking about he's mediocre. I saw 13-4 records, 12-3 records. Now, the only thing the only knock, you know, like I said, he hadn't won a playoff game in a while. And that ain't all his fault because last time I checked, the team got to play the game. Ben Roethlisberger, for one, who made the dumbest comment, well, one of the dumbest comments around. Mike Tomlin should, he'd be a good candidate for Penn State. Are you out of your mind, Ben Roethlisberger? You one of the main ones against Cleveland that threw 3 interceptions in that game. That's Mike Tomlin's fault too? No. You out there slinging the ball everywhere. You stayed past your prime, and I'm not knocking Ben because Ben has contributed greatly to the Steelers. But for him to say that he'd be a good candidate for Penn State, go down to college, really? But anyway, you know, it's this game this weekend a lot of folks saying it's a do or die game for Pittsburgh. Why is it not a do or die game for the Ravens too? Because they're not exactly setting the world on fire. They get
All right, Coach, you're
Harbaugh
diving
going
in
through
too
some of
much.
the same thing.
You're going into the game, Coach.
Okay,
going into the game. Yeah,
you get me started now. You get me started, I get wound up. I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. We'll let you dissect the game in just a second, but
I won't dissect that much because I already know what I'm gonna talk about.
I'll say this: even this season, Mike Tomlin has been a victim of his own success.
True.
Because he set the bar high at the beginning of the season, when the Steelers went 4-1, he is now getting hurt for his own success because you're a diehard Steeler fan. You didn't really have high expectations for the Steelers coming into this season. You're a diehard. And I don't remember you saying the Steelers going to be this, Steelers going to be that. You had like a wait and see attitude. And I believe a lot of Steelers fans had the same type of attitude. But once they went up 4-1, once Baltimore got out the gate slowly, Lamar was hurt. Once Joe Burrow got hurt, then the expectations for the Steelers season skyrocketed. And now everybody was like, it's just us and the Browns? Oh, we got this. We got this. And then they hit a few snags in the road. Now, Baltimore caught up with the Steelers. Record now, Joe Burrow is back. There's this huge panic in Steeler Nation because they don't think they'll be able to go ahead on and win the division when they thought they had it without any problem early in the season. And again, if Steeler fans are honest, they did not come into this season with high expectations. They didn't expect the Steelers to be battling for an AFC North championship. So Steeler fans, if you're mad at Mike Tomlin, you're mad at him because of his own success, how he was able to coach them out of being cellar dwellers. And now you're holding his success against him, which is unfortunate and, in my opinion, problematic. All right, I'll move on, Coach. Red is not here to talk about the Falcons, but the Falcons are a joke. Bottom line. And until the Falcons get new ownership, the Falcons will be irrelevant. Arthur Blank, great businessman, not a great owner when it comes to wins and losses. Great connector, but that connection does not result into wins. Great business mind outside of football, but that business mind comes into question when it comes to the football. So Falcons fans, Raheem got to go, no doubt about it. But is that going to change the future of the Falcons if you still have the same owner? Could be argued. GM Terry Fontenot, it's time for him to go. But will that change the fate of the Falcons? If they brought another GM who has to try to be the GM under certain circumstances that has not shown itself to be beneficial? These are things that have to be thought about when you make these decisions. All right, so we reviewed the Steelers and the Falcons. Coach, you ready, man?
Yes, sir.
Let's jump into these picks, man.
All right.
Get some music going. Rev Night Nation, feel free to join us. We're going to pick 4 at a time, and then we'll give you your picks. All right, let's see. Let's do it. Saints versus Buccaneers, coach. Who you got?
Yeah. Buccaneers. We don't need to waste time. Buccaneers.
Yeah, I got the Buccaneers as well. It's going to be interesting to see if Baker Mayfield's injury will come into play because he hasn't been playing lights out like he was at the beginning of the season, but he doesn't have to do much to beat the Saints these days. Jets versus Dolphins. I'm going to go with the Jets. Cold weather. Also, Jets are coming off a high, beating the Falcons at home. They play at home again. They may be carrying a little bit of momentum going into this particular game. And as long as the temperature's frigid, the Dolphins could struggle. Who you got, Coach?
I think I'll take a nap during this game, and then I'll come back at it. No, I'm sorry. Jets. Jets going to pull it out. Like you said, that cold weather coming to bite the Dolphins. So, Jets.
On you, Coach. Colts versus Jaguars in Jacksonville.
Now, this was going to be one of the underrated, most intriguing games of the week because nobody had thought that these two teams would be fighting for first place. I don't think anybody. The old Sunshine Lawrence has woke up, and Daniel Dimes, the Southern turned into Danny Pennies. He's starting to go on the way down. So this one had intrigue. Jonathan Taylor can make the difference with his running. So I'm gonna get a Jaguars edge by a little bit because I think Daniel Jones has regressed, and he got that slightly fractured fibula. So I don't know how he's gonna be mobility wise. I'm gonna go to Jaguars.
I'm gonna join you in that pick, Coach. I'm gonna go with the Jaguars as well. I think teams have kind of gotten the formula, scheme against Jonathan Taylor and make Daniel Jones beat you. And I think Jacksonville has a formidable defense, solid offense. Even without Travis Henry as a wide receiver, Jacksonville's still putting some points on the board with Trevor Lawrence. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville as well because I think the downward spiral of Colts is for real. Last game before we go to Revenite Nation, Titans versus Browns. The Titans are a train wreck. Browns are not much better, but they're better than the Titans. I'm going to go with the Browns. Whoever the quarterback is, I'm going with the Browns. Who you got, Coach?
Yeah, poor Cam Ward. I feel sorry. He is the least talked about number one draft pick in NFL history. Seems like they don't say anything about him other than the fact that the Titans are one and whatever. So, and Myles Garrett not gonna make it any better. So I'm gonna go with the Browns too.
All right, Joe Black has the Bucks over the Saints. He also has the Jets over the Dolphins. Wentz got Jets over Dolphins. Wentz said, "No, man, the Colts are gonna beat those Jaguars." Joe Black said, "I'm not even gonna put their name. Duval County will win." All right, Coach, let's go to you, man. Commanders versus the Vikings. Jaden Daniels will be the quarterback for the Commanders this weekend.
That's all I need to hear, Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with the Commanders, too. I'm glad I picked Jaden Daniels up in fantasy. It'll be interesting to see if he can stay healthy. And it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I picked him up.
Yes.
I picked up Daniels and C.J. Stroud.
He going for the kill, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been too long for me not to have a chip, so I got to put all the chips in. But yeah, I'm rocking with the Commanders as well. On me, Bengals versus Bills. I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow. I got more faith in Burrow than I do in Josh Allen and the Bills right now. There's something off with the Bills, and I think Joe Burrow coming back, looking solid last week, and then he's also had a few extra days, the rest, since they beat the Ravens on Thanksgiving Day. I'm going with the Bengals to go into upstate New York to beat the Bills. Who you got, Coach?
Well, I don't want the Bengals to win because they hit momentum at the right time. But T. Higgins is back this week, and that gives him another weapon for Joe Burrow. So, you got to go with the Bengals to win.
All right, Coach. On to the next. the Broncos versus the Raiders.
Poor Geno Smith. This supposed to been your year. Luckily, you got Brock Bowers. That's about all you got. I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah, top-notch defense will slow the Raiders' anemic offense. So I'm going with the Broncos as well. Packers versus the Bears. Ooh, this is a tough one. This is a Lambeau rivalry. Now, the cold weather won't have any bearing because both teams play in cold weather cities.
Shit.
So now it's a matter of coaching to me. Do I like Matt LaFleur or do I like Ben Johnson? Give me Ben Johnson for 500. I think the Bears find a way to win on the road and beat the Green Bay Packers. Who you got, Coach?
I'm going to go with the Packers because the Love Doctor has gotten a whole lot better. He's improved the last few games. And the Bears, it's time for them to lose one. They've been on fire. It's time for them to drop one. And the Packers are trying to get that number one spot. And they're at home, so I'm going to go with the Packers.
All right. Winston said, I got the Commanders over the Vikings. He said he got the Bengals in an upset over the Bills. Joe said, I got the Commanders. JJ was the QB last year playing worse than Penix. Joe said, I got the Bills over the Bengals. Winston said, Broncos going to light Geno up like the tree in Times Square. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Joe Black got the Broncos winning over the Raiders. Winston has the Bears defeating the Packers. Joe Black has the Bears defeating the Packers. Now, Coach, we're going to extend an olive branch to you to come on over to the other side with this pick. I know somehow your brotherly love is weighing heavy on you since your brother's a big time Packers fan.
Yeah, but I like Caleb too now. Caleb, my boy. But I just think that Michael Parsons gonna chase Caleb like he owing money. So I think it's gonna be the Packers by a touchdown.
Okay. Let's move into this next one. Rams versus the Cardinals. Coach, who you got, man?
I predict that Jacoby Brissett gonna throw for 375 yards and gonna lose. He's gonna be. He been putting up some great numbers, but he lose every game. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna go with the Rams as well. The Rams coming off that loss against Carolina last week, so I'm sure they've been laser focused, especially if they're trying to get that number one seed, and they have to keep pace. Who would ever thought? With the Chicago Bears, who's in first place. So I'm going to go with the Rams to bounce back to beat the Cardinals in Arizona. Eagles versus Chargers. Well, I think this is a game of two of the most overrated teams in the NFL. Folks love to try to make Justin Herbert beat his player that he hadn't proven himself to beat. Also, people are guilty of doing the same thing for Jalen Hurts. I remember that Jalen Hurts got benched during the national championship game. He's only as good as his offensive line. With that being said, I trust I trust the Eagles more so than I trust the Chargers. And matter of fact, word is that Justin Herbert is dealing with an injury. So if there's any backup quarterback, the Chargers won't have a chance even as they play in Los Angeles. Coach, who you got?
Eagles. Herbert dealing with that broken left hand. He had surgery on it, and I don't know, mentally that may take him out of the game. And the Eagles got, hey, throw me the ball, A.J. Brown. He said, just throw me the ball. I'll go get it. I'm sure. He caught 2 touchdowns last week. I think he's going to keep up. I'm going to go with Eagles.
All right. Any comments from Revenant Nation? Oh, yeah, we do.
Maybe a couple.
Winston said, Rams, ain't no point of running the electric bill up. Try to watch this. Joe Black said, Coach Caleb is a USC guy. You should be with him and his freshman.
Oh, Lord.
He's definitely bringing a new definition to modern masculinity.
Yes.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Winston Thornton said, I got the Chargers over the Eagles. Joe Black said, Rams, #1 seed and top 8 pick. What you call great GMing.
Yep.
Joe Black got the Chargers over the Eagles.
Oh, Chargers, go.
All right, man. Getting to the games that we're associated with. Texans versus the Chiefs. I got to rock with the Chiefs. Must win in Arrowhead. You got to play against a formidable defense in Houston. But I think we'll see the greatness of Mahomes be on display this past week. Andy will dial up the best offensive plays we've seen from the Kansas City Chiefs all year long. I think they'll have a balanced attack. And I think they'll score too much for Houston to be able to keep up.
Okay.
Who you got, Coach?
Yeah, like that old, what they say, that old cat in the corner. When you get that cat in the corner or a dog in the corner, they start scratching and clawing. You're not going to get to them. That Texans defense, if they can't touch Pat Mahomes, he going to light them up. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
All right. As some may call them, the Sea Chickens versus the Falcons. Who you got?
Boy. Well, one of these birds not going to be able to fly. That's all I got to say. And we know which ones. The downward spiral continues. Seahawks, Sea Chickens.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Seahawks, even with this game being in Atlanta. The Seattle Seahawks offense is very explosive. We're still struggling, trying to find some type of identity with the Falcons on offense. So, yeah, no need to belabor the point.
Yeah, look pretty bad for the Georgia teams this weekend.
All right, last game. Steelers versus the Ravens. Woo, this tough one right here, Coach. Both of them are struggling to find some level of consistency. Aaron Rodgers is still not 100%. Mike Tomlin is on the chopping block. But when you put Mike Tomlin's back against the wall, he always shows resilience. And this is why I'm going to pick the Steelers to beat the Ravens, even though the Ravens are at home, because I trust Tomlin being able to gather the troops to win better than I can see that for the Ravens. So Steelers go to Baltimore winning from my perspective. What do you say, Coach?
Two keys for both sides. If Baltimore decide to give the ball to Derrick Henry more than 25 times, the Ravens going to win. If they try to let Lamar throw the ball so much, Steelers going to win. And then on the flip side, if the Steelers get the ball to their tight ends more, especially Darnell Washington, Steelers going to win. If the Steelers try to run the ball, Ravens going to win. But I know I'm going with the Steelers, but those are the keys right there for both teams.
All right, Coach gave us the play-by-play. Got the Steelers. over the Ravens. Let's see what Reverend Nation talking about. Joe Black got the Chiefs over the Texans. Winston. Hold on. He says Texans knocked the Chiefs out of playoff contention with Anderson and Hunter combining for 3.5 sacks. That sounds like more of a wish than a real prediction. I'm just playing with it. Winston says the Falcons with the upset. JPJ extends his consecutive game streak to 5. You rising up with your thoughts. Joe Black said we officially get eliminated tomorrow. In the Falcons, I don't trust. That's what Joe Black said. Winston got the Ravens over the Steelers by 4.
Go away, Winston.
Alexis got the Seahawks over the Eagles. Joe Black said, Coach, Georgia wins, Falcons lose is what we expect. Who else we got? Alexis Hill got the Ravens, and Joe Black got the Steelers. All right, Coach. It's at the end of the road. Like Boys and Men once saying, we now go into you have the right, who has the right to do what, when, where, and how. What you got, Coach?
North Carolina basketball. Looking good so far. You had the right to continue, and then you got some tough games still coming up early in the year until you get into ACC play. You had the right to feed Caleb Wilson that ball and let him do his damage.
All right. Georgia Bulldogs, you have the right to win this game against Alabama. Curry Smart, you have the right to live up to your last name and be smart today in your decision. Stop wetting the bed. Stop choking. It's time out for this. Kalen DeBerg has already beaten you twice in 2 years. Don't let it be a third time. Beat him at least once. Be the SEC back-to-back champions so you can get another grace period of 5-6 years before you can beat Alabama again. Come on now. Get your life together. Be the highest paid coach you're paid to be. With that being said, that ends episode 401 of the Red and Red Sports Show. As always, we want to thank Coach Patrick Thomas for holding down the fort. We missed you, Red. Go ahead on, man. Make that money. Revenite Nation, great job today. Thank y'all so much for adding to the show. Joe Black said, Falcons, you have the right to get a real coach. I have some names for you. Falcons have the right to lead Marquise Williams at Chick-fil-A before the game. Yeah, that's a great show. Thanks for the love, man. Appreciate you. Make sure you share this broadcast with somebody. Let somebody know about the Red and Red Sports Show each Saturday, 10:30 on Facebook and YouTube. We look forward to being back. Same time, same Facebook page, same YouTube channel. Peace and love, everybody. And we are officially out of here. Peace.